Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I'm talking about all of the shows that happens in the last couple of weeks. That's Raw 1431, NXT episode something or other, SmackDown the one after that, Raw the next one, NXT the one after that, and SmackDown all the way through the 13th of November. So luckily I didn't miss any pay-per-views. Again, here we're just catching up on the weekly shows. I don't remember specifics from these, but I wanted to get this episode recorded before the next week begins with Raw on November 16th, which starts in about 22 minutes. And I'm in the Thunderdome again tonight. That's part of the reason why I've fallen so far behind, is that I've been on a hot streak in the Thunderdome for Raw and SmackDown. It started with this episode of Raw. I think this is the one where I was in there for main event. No, I wasn't there for main event. Otherwise, I would have taken notes on that. But the week before this, I was in there for main event and was all the way through Raw Talk. And it was a long, long night, 4 hours of that. And every Thunderdome session since then has been a bit hard on my lower back. So anyway, I'm gonna make this quick. We had Lana go through a table a 7th time and then an 8th time the week after that, and that's all we really need to know about Raw. I did like that these 2 weeks that she appeared in, and Nia and Shayna, all of them appeared in a segment earlier in the show, and then they end the segment and it hasn't happened yet. Like, wait, what? Wait, she was going to go through a table. Why didn't it happen? And then for one reason or another, they end up having a match later, or they're both out there again later on, and then it happens on there. And I hope that this week it just happens, like first thing happens right away. Also very funny that now Shayna knows exactly what to do. She just goes over to the commentary table and starts clearing it off when she knows that what's about to happen. Very funny. Very funny. But that's what else happened? I don't know. I don't even really want to talk. They're going through these notes. We had some, there's a great, 2 weeks ago, it was a great episode of Firefly Funhouse. We did not see The Fiend last week, but we did see Alexa Bliss, a bit. In like 1 or 2 segments, I can't remember. Nikki tried to go talk to her, and Alexa chose The Fiend over Nikki. Then we had Dakota Kai versus Ember. Okay, skipping forward to NXT. This is I'm really skipping over a lot of stuff. We had Dakota versus Ember, and Reina Gonzalez got involved, and that's how Dakota got the win. We had Cameron Grimes versus Kushida, and Grimes tapped out because the referee was the referee who was the zombie the week earlier. I thought that was pretty great. Drake Maverick and Killian Dane versus, who did they fight? Ever Rise again. I didn't even finish writing down what I was saying. But the Pat Pack attacks the for the brand, Pat McAfee's minions. They attack, and Fandango and Tyler Breeze try to help out, and that doesn't go very well. And Killian gets totally destroyed outside of the arena. He gets slammed into a car door and all that kind of stuff. They're the kings of NXT, and they throw away, they commemorate the Undisputed Era, but then they throw away their flag in a trash can, light it on fire, instead of hanging it high in the rafters above them. We also had Toni Storm versus Shotzi, which is great, except that Candice LeRae destroyed Shotzi's tank somewhere in an undisclosed location, and Shotzi is so devastated that Toni took advantage and got the win. But then Tony also felt bad about what happened to the tank after that. Then we had a Thatch Can segment, and then the main event, Ciampa won. The ending sequence of that match was really cool. I'll say that much. The ending sequence was really cool. Then we had SmackDown, Bayley versus Sasha. Sasha won, retained her championship for the first time ever on the main roster. Rey Mysterio versus Baron Corbin for a spot on Team SmackDown. Corbin won that. Natalya versus Ruby Riott versus Zelina Vega for a spot on the women's team. Ruby Riott won that. Street Profits, something, E and K. Profits, E and K. Oh. I don't remember what that meant. Oh, Big E and Billie Kay. There's a good interaction with all of them backstage. Billie Kay tried to give them her resume and offer insider info on Raw, and they're like, "We were on Raw at the same time as you." And you're like, "Oh, well." Her reaction to that is one of my favorite things. Just Billie Kay in general is one of my favorite things. And then we had Otis versus Seth, also for a spot on Team Raw. Seth won that. And then Jey Uso versus Kevin for a spot on Team Raw. And Jey won that match. Let's see. The next week on Raw, we had a qualifying match which Riddle won. Versus Elias and Jeff, so he made it onto the team. Drew Gulak wants into the Hurt business, but because he has a tactical clip-on tie, they beat him up instead, because that is not stylish. Truth takes advantage and wins the 24/7 championship, but then we had an incredible match later on. It was a 7-man tag team match, or not a tag team match, 7-man title match between Lance Dorado, Gran Metalik, Tucker, Eric, Drew Gulak, and Tozawa. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, of course, the champion himself, R-Truth. Akira won, and then Eric won, and then Drew won, and then Tucker won right after that, and then Drew won it back because they were still in the same pinning predicament, but just rolled back and forth. Very funny. Then Tucker wins it again. Gran Metalik wins, and Lince Dorado wins, and then R-Truth wins it and gets away with the championship. Then we also had Ricochet versus Ali, which was awesome. Ali won via Koji Clutch. Let's see. AP. Adam Pearce tells Randy that Drew versus Randy is going to happen next week, and then Randy roughs up Adam Pearce backstage, and He's not happy with that, and apparently he was fined an undisclosed amount for doing that. I think it's probably like $5. He had to toss a 5 into the swear jar kind of thing. It sounds a lot more dramatic when you don't say how much he had to pay. We had Randy and Miz and Morrison versus The New Day and Drew McIntyre as the main event. And during a commercial break, Drew McIntyre wore one of their vests. And it was very funny. But that match was pretty good too. Over on NXT, we had Johnny Gargano versus Leon Ruff. Leon Ruff won thanks to some distraction, some manipulation, whatever, by Damian Priest. That's hilarious. And as of right now, he is still the champ. There wasn't a match made. It's not like the 24/7 championship. Matches just can't happen. You gotta have the matches made. Then we had Escobar versus Jake Atlas for the Cruiserweight title. Escobar won via some interference by Legado. Oh, no. He didn't win via interference. That's the name of his move. His finisher. He won via the Legado. Then we had Reina versus Xia Li, which did not happen. Xia Li couldn't be there. Boa came out to deliver that message, and then Reina attacked him. And then some dragon graphics, and this guy comes and has a letter for Boa. And has he disgraced his his company, his family, whoever is pulling the strings. I don't know. Thatcher ruins Dexter Loomis's art, and that leads us to Thatcher versus Dexter, which is a great match. But before that, we had Toni Storm versus Candice, and Candice won. What did I write here? Oh, her feet on the ropes. Feet on the ropes. That I wrote. Yeah, so she cheated, won, and then the Scream person attacks, and of course, it's to nobody's surprise, it's Indy wearing that Scream mask, and then Shotzi comes out and tries to even the odds. And yeah, there's a fun match and some fun stuff to happen after it. Then we had Thatcher versus Dexter. Thatcher won after Cameron Grimes came and interfered. And then it made me laugh a lot. I forget who was it. Yeah. It was Pat McAfee. He called Vic Joseph the Slim Reaper. Oh, he doesn't. There's no need to make fun of him. But anyway, that is a very funny play on Grim Reaper. We had the main event, Breezango taking on the champions Oni and Danny, and Oni and Danny won that match. It was a great match. Then over on SmackDown, I'm getting this done right quick. I'm just at like 12 minutes right now. Two weeks of WWE in 12 minutes. Of course, I did skip NXT UK. I could look at those at the let's see. Let's go watch WWE. Yeah. Okay, so if we go to let's go to NXT UK. The sound is about to play, isn't it? Yeah, I don't want the sound to play. Let's see. The November 5th episode, we had Gallus and Sam Gradwell, or Gallus versus Sam Gradwell and Pretty Deadly. So 3-on-3. Aaliyah James versus Jenny, and then Noam Dar versus A-Kid, in the Heritage Cup semifinal. I heard that was pretty good. And then on the 14th, or the 12th, the episode on the 12th, that was what Thursday was, we had The Hunt versus Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan, Jack Stars versus Rampage Brown, Zaya Brookside versus Nina Samuels, and another Heritage Cup semifinal, Trent Seven versus Dave Mastiff. I don't think I heard anything about any of those matches, but Hunt versus Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan is probably pretty solid. I mean, all of those were probably pretty solid. And then we also had on 205 Live the last 2 weeks, we had November 6th. I need to watch the November 13th episode because it's the 205th episode. We had Adonis versus Mansoor. I'm pretty sure Mansoor won that. I may have actually watched that. I can't remember. And we had the team of Nice and Daivari versus Gray and Stallion. And I think they might have won that. Did I watch that episode? Maybe I did watch that episode. And then the November 13th episode, we had a fatal 5-way match to determine the next, as the entire episode. So I definitely need to go watch this, but is to determine who would challenge Santos Escobar for the championship. And I think it was Kurt Stallion who won. It was either Kurt Stallion or August Gray who won this match, just building on their feud against Arya Daivari and Tony Nese. I believe they must have tagged one of them since they've been fighting each other. But I'll have to go and watch this match because it's the whole thing. It's 30 minutes and the whole episode is that match. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so finally SmackDown on the 13th, which happened before this, but also after this. It aired before this, but happened in the real world after this. I get Roman Reigns is angry about something at the top of the show. I missed the first 15 minutes. My call time for Thunderdome was later. And I didn't go back and watch the first 15 minutes. But I guess Drew McIntyre came and had some words with Roman, and then Jay came and inserted himself somehow. I don't know. We had Sami Zayn versus Apollo in an Intercontinental Championship match, and Sami Zayn won via countout. He got Apollo's foot all caught up under the ring, and Apollo's very frustrated about that. We had Otis versus Dolph Ziggler was this for a spot on the team? I think it maybe was. Otis won, and then backstage, Chad Gable tried to sell Otis on some lessons at the Alpha Academy or something. I don't know. Seems like a cult of some kind. Then we had an amazing match. Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins, the final chapter. Rey Mysterio won. Buddy Murphy turned on Seth, and the Mysterios plus Murphy are one big happy family with the all the kissing and everything. No, nobody kissed during this, but they did hug. Like, Rey gave Murphy a handshake after he took out Seth, and then Aaliyah just runs right in there for a big old hug. That was kind of fun. Then we had Natalya versus Liv versus Tamina versus Chelsea Green making her debut. And when I was watching, I was confused. Like, why did they have her debut in this match if she wasn't going to win? Because they added her to the match after the other three were already out there. But as it turned out, she got injured, and so that explains all the things that I was questioning. Like, what's going on here? But Liv Morgan did win. If Chelsea had not been added to the match, that's who I would have wanted to win anyway. So hopefully Chelsea heals up speedily and strongly. I don't know what the words. But for now, we have the Riot Squad, both members of the Riot Squad on the Survivor Series team, so that's going to be pretty cool. And then we had Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso. Drew won. I think the match had a decision. I didn't write any notes on it, but it was pretty good. It was a pretty good main event to close out the week. So there you go. I'm excited for Survivor Series. I will do an episode at the end of this week with my predictions for Survivor Series and all of that. I'm not going to go another 2 weeks without recording an episode, so I'll go more in depth in that episode for sure. But also check out this Wednesday, I'm going to do a 12.5-hour stream in which I will be talking, I'll be watching NXT. I'll not be streaming NXT onto my Twitch stream, but you'll see my live reaction and stuff like that. But for the other 10.5 hours, I'll be doing all kinds of other stuff. Mostly playing Supercard, but I'm going to mix it up with some other video games and stuff, like I did in the 12-hour stream a few weeks ago. So that's it. Let me know what you thought about this episode and everything that happened the last 2 weeks in wrestling anyway. By tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. Stay safe, healthy, and happy out there in all the infinite multiverses. And I'll see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye.